How's it going, everybody? Just gonna try to give you a brief run through of what I'm gonna be doing on my oral presentation. Let me just go ahead and launch this file right now and get into it. So you can see I'm gonna be doing my oral presentation in Keynote, and at this point, it's mirroring my written proposal. Essentially what I want to do is start off the presentation by kind of talking about, my abstract, my statement of interest, tell them a little bit about myself, kind of gauge the committee and see, what backgrounds they may have, go into my portfolio, talk about my experience through my resume and portfolio, and then get into what I would actually like to do during my thesis work next year. So this is just a cover page, and then I'll launch the contents page. This will probably be a little bit more abbreviated and revised once I start cleaning this up, so it won't look so much like a table of contents, but more just kind of an outline of what I'm going to be presenting. And right now I have kind of the first half of my presentation loaded up in this Keynote. So you can see it's fairly clean. Yeah, there's a lot of copy here. I probably don't need to have all this copy listed for the presentation, so what I'll probably do is come up with some sort of bullet items and just talk to the committee. And my resume, and then I'll talk about what's going on currently, how I work at Liquid Agency, and what work I'm doing at Liquid Agency. I run a small partnership, it's a design partnership on the side. Just give them a little bit of background on myself. Alright, this is a window display that I created for WWDC. Basically, there's about 240 apps that we placed on the second floor as a window installation for WWDC 09. And here you can see it in situation. This piece right here is from when Apple initially launched the unibody style MacBook and MacBook Pro. I was I guess you could say the lead designer under the art direction of Michael O'Neill over at Apple, and I worked on these launch signs and just pretty much overall all the in-store signage that went into the launch itself. Then I'll go into a little bit of work I did for Lucasfilm. This was for the animated Clone Wars movie that came out a couple years ago. Essentially what I had to do is create graphics for a number of different things that they could be applied to. So this is just a few that I worked on. Step in These is a book about redesigning the Nike Air Force One. I wrote a 50-page, 55-page book talking about how I was going to change the manufacturing process all the way to the design of the shoe itself. And the idea behind the redesign of a shoe was, carbon footprint. Nike's the most well-known, and the AF1 is still the most purchased shoe worldwide. And so I thought it had a big enough footprint, no pun intended, to kind of discuss some eco issues around that particular shoe. I have a motion piece. I won't play the whole thing, but I'll go in and talk about this before I actually launch the video. But here are some style frames that show it prior to me actually launching the video. Here you can see the video launch. Alright. And we'll just fast forward. Next one, P4 motorcycles, or P cubed. Performance, precision, power, and passion. It's just a kind of talks about racing and stunning, something I'm pretty passionate about. And again, it'll launch a video. guys can go check that out later. For gamers by gamers, did some network branding in my master's program, so I'm going to show this piece as well. And again, this will launch. After that, I haven't gone in and typeset any of this, but I'll talk about Crown Royal and the rebrand I did on the label. I went to a ACL applied ceramic label versus a paper label, and so I'll just talk a little bit about that. I did that in my undergrad work. The next project that I'm going to talk about is the IKEA birdhouse I worked on. I fabricated this by hand. It's a modular system, so everything will disassemble and store into the center housing tube. So this will show off my ability to actually fabricate things with my hands, which is what I'm trying to tie into, building my own plane and fabricating it, prototyping it, and making it work, and then doing a motion marketing piece about it. So all this stuff should be pretty relevant to what I'm trying to do over the next 12 months or so. I haven't decided on this piece, but this is GE light bulb packaging that I worked on in my undergrad. And then this is not going to be in the project. So it's kind of a brief overview of what I've got thus far, and any feedback would be great. Thank you.